career goes from success to even greater success, while the other person works himself or herself into the ground with little success, no matter how hard they try.
Okay, so can you scroll up again to that first part?
Yeah.
Okay. It says here, if you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, and you just do it so well, and you do it beyond what everybody else has done before, then what happens is things will magically start manifesting for you, and you will find that what you create or what you thought or what you made becomes something that is not forgotten. It's like in the days before we had electrical bulbs and things like that, we never imagined that with a switch we could switch on a bulb, and your house will be lit. And we never imagined that we could speak to somebody over an instrument, to somebody who's like across town. And we never imagined that we could hold a phone like this in our hands and talk to people around the world, see their faces, talk to them. So what is this? This is magic, isn't it? For somebody who has woken up from, let's say, the 5th century, whatever we are doing will seem like magic to him, because these are things that they couldn't imagine at that point of time. So whatever activity and that we do today, any kind of um, skill, any idea that we take and we just work on it so much that in the future it becomes something that people will say, wow, this is really magical, you know. So now it says here that how can a person who is born into total poverty, starting out with nothing, little education, why does this happen? This happens because of vision, because of a dream, because the person who started out with nothing has decided that he wants something in his life, and he worked on it and he created it and he imagined it and he visualized it until it happened. Okay. And how is it that two people can start out in the same career? Like you start with a friend in school, they may be doing more successfully in school, more popular in school, more, more friends they have, and you don't have any friends. But when you grow up, then what happens is that you own a big company, IT related, and he is struggling in a 9 to 5 job. So what happens here? Why is there such a difference? Okay,
Mm.
carry on reading the missing link.
The missing link to the success is gratitude. Because according to the law of attraction, you have to be grateful for what you have to attract success to you. So without gratitude, it is impossible to have permanent success.
Yes. Now, here it says the missing link to success is gratitude. Because according to the law of attraction, you have to be grateful. Now, what happens is that when person has nothing, like a child who is growing up in an impoverished home, and you buy a pair of shoes and give to them, how much gratitude they have. But if you give a same pair of shoes to somebody who is so rich, and they have like, Nikes and Adidas in their home, and they'll just say, oh, thank you. And the gratitude they feel is not as much as the gratitude that the child who's impoverished feels when you give them a pair of shoes. So what is the difference? It's the degree of gratitude. There's the degree of you know heartfelt feelings that the person had when they received the present, when they received the pair of shoes. So when you get anything, when you receive anything, or if somebody does something for you, it's the degree of gratitude that is very important. Saying thank you is not enough. Saying thank you is just like, okay, you gave me something, thank you, thank you. But there's no real feeling. But when you feel it completely within yourself, that my goodness, they've really done me a really great um, um, favor, or they've done such a big deed for me, and you feel it with gratitude, that's when gratitude works, and more things will be attracted to you. Okay, carry on.
To bring success or increase the good things in your job or work, like opportunities, promotions, money, brilliant ideas, inspirations, and appreciations, it is essential to be grateful for your job or work. The more gratitude you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. And you should be getting the idea by now that to increase anything in your life, you have to be grateful for what you have already.
Yes. So to this is exactly what they say, to bring more success or increase whatever good things are happening in your life, you have to be grateful first of all for the job or the work that you do. Even if you're not working like housewives and all that, but they should be grateful that they have a family, they have a home, they have a beautiful kitchen to work with, for all the ingredients that they have it at home. You can be grateful for everything. You can be grateful that you're mowing the lawn. You can be grateful that you're doing some gardening and flowers are growing or vegetables are growing. The more gratitude you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. So, what does this mean? This means that the more gratitude you feel, the more things are attracted to you, and the more good things will start happening um, to you.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Who whoever has gratitude for their work will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude for their work, even what he or she has will be taken from him or her. When you are grateful for your job, you will automatically give more to your work. And when you give more to your work, you will increase the money and success that is returned to you. If
Okay,
you're not, yeah,
right. So the key word here is gratitude for your work. So in this chapter, we are doing gratitude. We have been fixing words after grateful for,
yeah,
the gratitude for your work, gratitude for the money, gratitude for your health. So here we are fixing gratitude for our work. So when you're grateful for your job, what happens is that even if it's a menial job, even if it's an office job, even if it's a managerial job, whatever it is, if you're grateful for it, then what happens is that the universe will answer you with promotion, with more money, with success, with ideas for you to move on in your job. Okay. And this is how it works. So if you're not grateful for your job, you will automatically give less. So if you're complaining, okay, my boss
yeah,
is this and my colleagues are that, and my job, I'm not enjoying my job and I find it boring and this and that. So what happens is that will anybody be appreciative of you? No, nobody will be appreciative because you're always complaining. Okay, carry on. When you give less.
yeah. When you give less, you decrease what comes back to you. And as a result, you will never be happy in your work. You will never give more than you'd have to, and your job or work will stagnate and eventually deteriorate, which could mean losing your job. Remember, for those who do not have gratitude, even what they have will be taken from them.
Okay,
The amount,
just hold on. When you give less, that means when you're not grateful for whatever you have, even if the job is giving you not enough money, and you find yourself that at the end of the month you are still in the red, it doesn't matter. Just be grateful that you have that much of money. So the more grateful you have, the more gratitude you have for the money that you get through your job, for the satisfaction that you get from your job, then what happens, people take note. Universe is of course there to observe everything, and you will find that promotions will come, and more money will come. Maybe you get an offer for a job elsewhere that it will increase your money because you've been grateful for this particular job that you have. Okay, but if you're complaining all the time, now that complaining will not take you anywhere, because if you're complaining here, you'll complain in your next job. You'll be grumbling about your next job. I have a new girl who's working for me, and she's not even been with us for a month, I think. And a few days ago, before I left Brunei, she came to me and she said, first she posted two posts on her WhatsApp saying something about toxic atmosphere and stuff like that. So we saw the post, and so the next day we called her in and we asked her that, why did you do this? She said, no, it's nothing to do with you. It's to do with the people in the shop, and I don't like it. They did this to me and they did that to me. So I asked her, I said, look, can you guarantee that the next job will bring you anybody who is less toxic, or anybody who's more tolerant of you? I said, we have staff here working for last 11, 12 years. I said, we have had staff here working for, really long periods of time. I said, you're the new one. So in this case, I said, are we expected to adjust to you, or will you be the one adjusting? I said, if you find that there is something that you don't like, I said, you can come to us. I said, if there's something you don't like about the colleague that you work, then you must sit down with that colleague and explain your point of view. But you can't go around and announcing that the workplace is toxic, because that is putting your employers in a very bad light. So, but when I did tell her, I said that you have a job. I said, you've just spent $3,000 on various fees that she had to pay here, and money that she had borrowed and she had to pay back. That kind of money. And I said, you've spent so much of money, and now you say that you would like to leave in 2 months. I said, I'm not going to be paying you 2 months for you to leave. It's just like paying myself back. I said, I can't do that. I said, if you want to leave, you have to leave right away. Otherwise, we can't keep you on. Since your idea is to leave, I said, then I will not keep you on. So I said, you better have a think about it and just understand that next place that you go to work, you may not have a better place. You might have, a more toxic place to work. I said, the attitude you have to change is yours. So she understood. So that's what I was thinking. I said, if she is grateful for her job, then she will get more. She will get more sort of attention, and she will get more training. She will get increase in wages and all. But if she's not, then as an employer, I will definitely not be increasing her money. So it's like that. The universe will work and give you what you have given in gratitude. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The amount you give?
The amount you give in gratitude is exactly proportional to the amount you receive in return. You control the amount you receive by the amount of gratitude you give.
Yeah.
If you are a business owner, your business value will increase or decrease according to your gratitude. The more grateful you are for your business, your customers, and your employees, the more the business will grow and increase. It is when business owners stop being grateful and replace gratitude with worry that their business spirals downward.
Yes. The amount you give is equal to the amount that you receive. So what you are giving is gratitude. So if you have a client and you need more clients, then be grateful for the client that you have and say, thank you that I have got some money from this client. And I'm grateful for the clients that are going to come. Okay, so you're being grateful for the clients that you have. That's a present. And let me mute participants. Mute all. Yes. Okay. So Manisha, you'll have to unmute.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So As a business owner, your business value will increase and decrease according to the gratitude. And I found this, so uh, how do you accurate in my business when I write down that I'm so grateful to my customers, past, present, and future, for all the you know for all their contribution towards my financial success. When I start writing things like that, and I'm grateful for the sales hitting my targets, my daily targets, my monthly targets, I find that it works, because even if it's a slump period, somebody will pop up and come and spend that amount of money in my shop. So this applies to jobs, this applies to businesses. So you just have to stop worrying and just be grateful for what you have. If you have $1 in your pocket, be grateful that you have $1 in your pocket. If you have $10,000 in your pocket, be grateful that you have $10,000 in your pocket. So we just have to start appreciating what we have rather than worrying about what we don't have. Okay, it's hard to do, but it is just a change of your perception, change of the frame of how you think. All right,
Yeah.
let's carry on. If you are a parent,
If you are a parent and your work is taking care of your children and managing your home, look for the things to be grateful for at this time in your life. It is often a once in a lifetime opportunity. And when you can be grateful for this time, you will attract more support, more help, more beautiful moments, and more happiness to the experience.
yes. So if you're a parent and you're taking care of children, okay, some women who work, and then they have to stay home and look after their kids, and they're cribbing all the time. Or because of my children, I can't work. I'm stagnating. I have nothing to do, and I've complained about that, because I used to work in my parents' shop as a young girl. I used to be in the shop and I used to love it so much. And interacting with so many customers, talking to them, and just being out and about. And when I got married, my husband's family were quite conservative, and like, we weren't allowed to work. We had to stay home, and all we did was go to the gurdwara, because the gurdwara was the focus of our lives. Every birthday was celebrated in the gurdwara. Every wedding was celebrated in the gurdwara. There were no, like, big weddings where hotels and all that. Nothing of the sort in that time. And all functions were held in the gurdwara, and daily we were just getting dressed, getting out of the house, driving to the gurdwara, staying there for a few hours, coming back, and then preparing dinner. That was my lifestyle. And after a few months, I started complaining. I said, I feel I've become like a dud. I can't, I'd gone to a party where there were some lawyers and people, because my brother had gotten engaged to one of the lawyers here, his stepsister, for a little while. The engagement broke, unfortunately, but um, it was at that time that I went to their house for a get together, and I met so many lawyers and politicians there, and I felt I didn't know how to converse with them. And I came home and I grumbled to my husband. I said, I feel like I'm so stupid. I said, because I didn't know how to hold a conversation with people. I said, I've been staying at home, and it's just this auntie and this bacha and that bacha, and you you forget about world events, and you forget about how to converse with intelligent people, and holding your own. So now, was I grateful? No, I was not grateful. I should have been grateful that I had time at home. I could, dress in beautiful clothes, beautiful jewelry, go for parties and meetings, enjoy the children, enjoy the bringing up of our children, enjoy the cooking of food, things like that. I could have been grateful at the time, but I didn't know about Magic Book at the time. So for me, it was just, grumble about this. My mother-in-law said this, my brother-in-law said that, my sister-in-law said this. So we're grumbling all the time. So we're not being grateful. So now when I write my gratitude and I write thank you to my sister-in-law for making me laugh, thank you to my mother-in-law for teaching me cooking. Now I've understood that all these experiences come, and it's whether you want to look for the fault in them or you want to look for the good in them. Okay. So this is where gratitude comes into play. Okay, carry on.
You should love your job, whatever it is, and be excited about going to work, and you shouldn't settle for anything less. If you don't feel that way about your current job, or if it is not your dream job, the way to receive your dream job is by first being grateful for the job you have. Today, imagine that you have an invisible manager whose job is to keep a record of the thoughts and feelings you have about your job. Imagine that your manager will follow you wherever you go today, poised with pen and notebook in hand.
Yes,
Every
hold
time
just a second. So today we are going to have this little, for me, it's little Sheila, or you can call it your angel, or you can call it a pet name, whatever it is, your boo boo, or something like that. And he's going to sit on your shoulder and he's going to record down whatever thoughts and feelings you have about your work, your job, your attitude, whatever it is. So this manager is going to follow you wherever you go today with the pen and notebook in hand. Okay. So it's just like, we have a good angel and a bad angel. When we are going to do something wrong, the good angel says, no, 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 don't do that. And the bad angel says, so what? You just do it. Doesn't matter. Okay. So now we don't have that bad angel and good angel. We just have this invisible manager who is going to record down everything. Okay. Carry on.
every time you find something about your job to be grateful for, your manager will make a note of it. Your
Yes.
job
Yeah. Your job.
is to find as many things as you can to be grateful for. So at the end of the day, your manager has a long list of all your gratitude.
Hmm.
The longer the list is, the more magic your invisible manager can bring to your money, work success, opportunities, enjoyment, and fulfillment.
Okay. So now, um, this manager is sitting on your shoulder. So let's say this manager has been there since morning. Okay. Can you name me a few things that the manager would have recorded by now, good or bad? Like, were you grateful for your breakfast? Were you grateful for the hot water that you bathe with? Were you grateful for your car that you used to drive to work? Were you grateful for the air conditioning that was switched on before you came to your office? Were you grateful for the coffee that you drank? Were you grateful for cooking for your children? Or you started grumbling that every day I have to think of what to cook? Okay, this is a common thing. My goodness, we finished lunch, we finished breakfast, now we have to worry about lunch. Now we finished lunch, now we have to worry about something for tea time. Then we have to cook dinner. So we are grumbling all the time. We are always negative. But when we start being positive and we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, that I could manage all my work, I've finished all my cooking, I've done all my cooking for lunch, and I've done some cooking for dinner, and I don't have to worry. I'll come back at this time and I'll just take out this and take out that. And you've managed your work. I found that happened with me. I was without a maid for, well, when I started magic book classes, I was already without a book, but I still was not as grateful. But this last month, my mom's maid went away and I had to send my maid to look after her. So I was for a month without a maid. And I organized everything so smoothly. I had everything in order. I could come home at 5:30, prepare dinner, and be relaxed, and I didn't have to sort of mess up the whole place and get frantic and things like that. Everything went so smoothly because I was grateful for the opportunity that I could cook in my own kitchen. I was grateful for the opportunity that I could handle the kitchen on my own, and grateful for the vegetables that I bought, and grateful that I didn't have so much wastage. So like that, you think about what has happened with you since morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I already wrote my 10 list of gratitude daily practice in the
Yes,
morning. So it's very easy. I really thank for the flexible timing of my office that I can get up anytime I want. I don't have to rush and dress up and go to office. It's very flexible.
wonderful.
I can do pick drop of all my kids' classes with my office. So I'm really, so this topic, this today's chapter is very, very on point for me. I'm reading
Yes.
it. I am reading it and I am realizing it that how grateful I am already for my job.
Okay. Let's stop
I
there
thank
and ask
every
you.
day.
Let's stop there and ask you. Tell me one ingratitude that you had.
One,
One grumbling, one ingratitude that you had, one
for
negative
work or
feeling,
for my daily routine?
not for your daily routine.
For my
That's
work?
very good. Anything, for anything. Like, oh, it's late. That's also a negative, no?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm late because of this.
Yeah. So
um, like me, I was waiting for my son to come because I had to go and give a sample to the clinic nearby. And I was thinking, I said, oh, he didn't call me. He should have called me. Then I called him. So that's one, again, ingratitude. But I should have just been patient because he had called, and but the maid didn't give me the message. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that
for me,
manager
it's
has
oh,
now
I didn't do
recorded.
my morning dance class because one of my friend ditched me in the morning, and
Yeah.
she's here in the group.
Okay. So that's good, na? So if you have this manager sitting on your shoulder, then you're aware that he's going to take note whether you were grateful or were you ungrateful. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll carry on with this with the chapter. Think about.
Think about all the things you could be grateful for in your work. To begin with, think about the fact that you're actually having a job. Think
Yes.
about how many people are unemployed who would give anything to have a job. Think about the time saving equipment you use, such as phones, printers, internet, computers. Think about the people you work with and the friendship you have with them. Think about the people who make your job easier, such as receptionists, assistants, janitors, and delivery people. Think about how good it feels when you receive your paycheck. And think about the favorite aspects of your job that you love doing.
Yes. So here you have so many things that you can be grateful for. Okay. If you start thinking, looking around you, you'll find, uh, everything: your pencil, your paper, your stationery, your laptop, your phone, your Wi-Fi. All this is, if you have gratitude for it every day when you come to the to your desk to do your job, whatever time, because you have flexible hours. That also, flexible hours is something to be grateful for. That I'm so happy that I
Yeah.
have flexible hours. I can work when I need to work, and I can get off my work to do my cooking. I'm so fortunate. I'm so grateful that I have a job like this. So gratitude, you can dig gratitude out of anything, out of everything. Okay. I'm grateful. I'm looking at my slippers on the floor. I'm grateful I have a pair of rubber slippers to use when I'm at home. I'm grateful for my suitcase, which is lying empty, and I can pack some nice things in it before I go back. Anything. You can find gratitude for everything that you do. Okay, but no, we'll say, oh, chappal ethe rakhe हुए ने. Why didn't they carry it? You know, it's it's whether you want to be grateful or you want to grumble. Okay, most of us, we grumble. Okay, like, I mean, today I was watching my CCTV, and I was looking. I said, "Oh, I'm not there." So the maid, she has gotten up at 8:30. Now, shall I grumble about it? As if I grumble about it, it's going to be stressful on me. So I said, "Chalo, theek hai." She got up at 8:30. So what? I'm not there. There's not much work. She cleaned the windows. So I said, "Okay, thank you that she's cleaned the windows." So it's like that. We have to switch. Slowly, we have to start switching everything that we do into gratitude. Okay? All right. Carry on.
Have your invisible manager make a note each time you find something you are grateful for by saying, I'm so grateful for what?
Mm.
The more deeply your manager can see you're feeling gratitude, the sooner your manager can start to make the magic happen in your work. And the more magic will be created. It is possible that you could generate so much gratitude for your work in one day that you would see the circumstances instantly improve. Lucky breaks don't happen by accident. They are simply gratitude's magical power at work.
Yes. So when you have so much of gratitude in your gratitude bank, so what happens is that sometimes you just say, oh, I hope, like yesterday there was an incident which I actually I didn't want to go somewhere, and I was like being, sort of the circumstances were such that I would have to go. And I just thought to myself, I said, um, well, I'll just go with the flow, and whatever universe has planned out for me, so be it. And it just happened like that. That things changed, and I didn't have to go to that place. So it's like that. So with gratitude in your so much of gratitude in your life, things will start changing one by one. You will see things improve. Things will change for you to for the better. You will find opportunities popping up here and there. These are just wonderful. You'll start noting them, and you start marveling at them. Okay. If
If
this
this works
Yeah,
If
carry on.
this works like magic, practice falls on a weekend or when you're not at work, move on to the next day's practice or practices and then go back and use this magical practice on the first day you're back at work.
Yes.
So it's a weekday for us today.
Magic practice number 6 works like magic.
Repeat steps 1 to 3 of magic practice number 1. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel gratitude for each one. While at work today, imagine you have an invisible manager following you around taking notes every time you find something to be grateful for. Your job today is to look for as many things as you can to be grateful for. Have your manager make a note each time you find something you are grateful for by saying, I am so grateful for what? And feel as grateful as you can. Just
Just
before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic note in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day.
right. Thank you, Manisha, for reading that. So today, now we are all at work. Today is Wednesday, right? So we are all at work. Those of us who are not at work, like me, I'm on holiday in Singapore. But there are things that I have to do. Um, so I can even have my manager walking around with me and taking note about things that I'm grateful for, or I'm stressed out about, I'm worrying about, or I'm annoyed about. These are the things that we must eliminate from our feelings. So if there's something that's annoying you, you just find the good in it, and push it away and say, so be it. Whatever will happen, and it's always working out for the good. Okay. So we don't have to worry about every little thing that happens in our life. And but if you're working, then you just have this person taking notes about, you're grateful for what? You're grateful for your laptop because your laptop allows you to do work, and connect with people. You're grateful for your phone because your phone is portable and it allows you to take your work everywhere with you. I'm grateful for the job that I have because it pays me well and I can handle all my finances. Um, so let's have one from everyone. Let's see. Okay. Jyotika, would you like to say a gratitude for work today?
Uh, okay, I'm at home, so I'll just give a general.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for my very smart helper who has cooked a delicious lunch for me today.
We are
Okay.
coming.
All right. So, Janvi, would you like to say one? Or Rajwant, would you like to say a thank you for some work?
I'm so grateful and
Mhm.
so blessed that I have a healthy body to do my house chores, the daily activities.
That's very good. Okay. So, Janvi, you're listening and you said you're in the immigration office. So, you're obviously doing some immigration work. So, you can be grateful that the immigration line is not very long. I'm so grateful that the immigration officers are processing all my papers. So if you're feeling gratitude for your job, for whatever work you have to do, I'm so grateful that the immigration officer has approved my papers. You can write something like that down. Okay. Is Pooja online? Pooja, would you like to say a gratitude for your work?
Actually, I only have coffee with me, so I'm grateful for my coffee today.
Wonderful. That's nice.
Can't live without it.
Yes, I'm so grateful for my cup of coffee on my office table every day. So for me, I'm so grateful that as soon as I get into the office, my staff comes and asks me if I want a cup of coffee. So that's a gratitude that I have that my staff are so well trained that they come and ask me immediately upon my arrival. Yeah, that's right. So Satya, any great gratitude you would like to say? You're working right now. Yeah, I can hear you, Satya. You just unmuted.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Somebody coming in, so I
Okay.
can't speak now.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'll say one for you. I'm so grateful for my job because it pays me well and my boss is very kind to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah. So you can say, I'm so grateful that my family appreciates the food that I cook every day. That's a job we do. Housewives stay at home and cook and clean. I'm so grateful that my children appreciate their clean bedroom when they come home. There's so many things that we can be grateful for, even as housewives. Correct? So now,
Yes.
anybody got anything to share? We have a few minutes. Any experiences anybody want to share?
Mhm.
Jyotika?
No, just a few days back, I think I mentioned to Meenakshi ji about my daughter getting a check for $4,000 for her conference.
That's wonderful. Yes, I heard that. I heard that.
So that was the latest. After that, I can't think of anything at present.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's wonderful.
I'll share the same line story. So I work for Indian company and I'm working for Brunei. So they allow me to work from here on flexi times. And I was missing my parents. My brother was there with them. So I wanted to be with them. And by magic, my office called me for 3 days for some important training. So I went there to Gurgaon, all paid expenses, hotel stay, tickets,
Wow.
everything. And I
Wow.
get to meet my parents for 3 days there.
Oh,
And it
wonderful.
was
Great.
all out of blue. Even I couldn't believe that within 15 days, I'm just going like that.
Wonderful.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
so
nice.
Wonderful.
when you say Jyotika ji, so I'm sharing it again because it's really because the gratitude we have for work, it's coming back. So it's total reiteration of what we read today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have found this happening all the time, especially in my business. Whenever I feel that things are little low, I immediately start writing. And by even writing gratitude, like yesterday when our exercise was to write the 100 over gratitudes for the family, and I started thinking about, like, one brother of mine. I don't have very much in terms of money dealings with him, but then when I started writing, I remembered so many little things, like he paid for my ticket to Canada for his son's wedding, and then he treated me to lunch and dinners. Then every Rakhi he gives me money. So things like that, you start remembering a lot of things when you start doing gratitude for you for the work that you. I was 3 years in India setting up a business. And after 3 years, I had to close down. And I went to at the time I was doing Reiki, and I went to my Reiki master and I said, she said, "How do you feel?" I said, "I feel I've wasted 3 years." And she's looked at me and she says, "Have you?" And I just suddenly kept quiet. And I said, I was just being ungrateful because in the 3 years that I lived in India, I learned so much. My God, I learned so much. I learned Reiki. I became a Reiki master. I became a KQ master. And then I learned so much about how Indians do business there. I learned how to cope with the Indian way of doing things. It was just I made so many friends. So many people looked after me because they knew I was there alone. And I barely cooked at home because every second day I was being invited somewhere. So all that was, with that one line, I just said wasted. But it's not. It was not wasted. I learned so much in that time. And I'll always be so grateful that I had those 3 years that I spent in India, um, learning all these things. And it was an excuse. That was my excuse to go to India, was to set up the business. So the setting up the business was an excuse, and not the loss was not the reason. The gain was the reason. So when you start looking at things differently, you'll find gratitude even in your negativity, which is going to be our next subject tomorrow. Okay. So we will find positivity in every negative that we come across. All right.
Thank you, Sheila, for explaining so beautifully. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Meenakshi, thank you. I didn't know you're still online.
And the network is coming off and on.
Acha,
So it's
that's
okay.
good. Yeah,
And
I feel a little bit intimidated by your teaching because you teach so well.
you're so awesome. You're so awesome.
Thank you,
So
thank you,
today
thank you.
you must take out the worst negative situation which really put you down and which you really feel this was something that, it's really hurt me. And, at times, even Corona times, some people have lost jobs, some people have lost business, some people have lost people. So write that situation and think what is the best thing came out of it. The other day, I and Sheila was talking, and then Sheila said, I have to go and keep the phone down because I have to break a bad news to my mom. I said, really? Okay, what is the news? Tell me. So she told me about somebody who's passed away. Then I told her, okay, Sheila, why don't you think like this? That the person has left. He left as a shock for the family, but imagine the person is left so quietly. He just had a heart fail and he didn't suffer. He didn't go to the hospital. He didn't had anybody taking care of him. He's not on the ventilator. It is so lucky. And
Yeah.
so when you think about everything in that scenario, and not from just for your selfish look, if you look at some different things, there's so many things that works out. So I had there was one something happened in India and all the shops got sealed. So when the shops got sealed, my store got sealed. And I was very upset. My store got sealed after so much hard work and everything. I had set up the shop. But the minute it got sealed, I got an opportunity to leave Delhi and move to Gurgaon. And when I opened my business there in Gurgaon, it was a beautiful opportunity because what sales I was doing in 1 month there in Delhi, I was doing in Gurgaon for in 1 day. So, normally if the breakdown wouldn't have happened, and if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have closed my store in India, in Delhi, and I wouldn't have gone to Gurgaon. But the universe know what is best for us. So try looking for the best and the positive thing in it. It'll really work. Okay, say my hello to my dad. Ready? Hello.
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 Uncle.
Namaste.
So we're just boarding a flight. All
You
Okay,
have a good
enjoy.
holiday,
Yeah, have a
Meenakshi
good
ji.
holidays.
Yes.
Enjoy, and be
Thank
safe.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All
We will
right. Have a
practice
good
more and
day.
more,
Bye-bye.
more and more.
We'll miss you.
Yes, I'm going to join tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay, wonderful.
See you, G. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining the classes.
Thank you.